All right, so the next little piece of news that we got here is involving Pokemon. So Pokemon, of course, it is a video game series, yeah, but it's also an anime. But Pokemon is apparently got a live action series reportedly in development over at Netflix. I got to say, if when you hear this sort of stuff, you're automatically very hesitant about it, right? Okay, that's everyone's automatic opinion. But I will say, in terms let's talk character models. If they do it anything similar to what they did with Detective Pikachu, I don't have a lot of worries personally. Because while I had my beefs with Detective Pikachu in terms of story, I thought the Pokemon looked awesome, in my opinion, for live action. But what are you guys' thoughts on the potential of a live action series over at Netflix for Pokemon?
Well, I was thinking on the same lines as you, Alex, and was just like, you said that, and I went, I'm not terribly worried because we have Detective Pikachu, as you said, and like the modeling and stuff of the characters was not bad. Yes, there was some issues with the story for what it was, but I mean, it was a lot better than other live actions we get even with that story.
True.
So in terms of live action Pokemon, we actually have a somewhat okay success. So I'm not very terribly worried about the production modeling of itself. I'm more curious about what they would be following in terms of story.
I would probably take a shot in the dark and say it's just going to be it's not really a shot in the dark. It seems like probably the most obvious thing is that it's probably just going to be like an original character or whatever doing its thing. But I think it'd be dope if they went with the manga, followed like a manga story. I think that would be super clean. Like follow red, follow blue, follow green, etc. I think that would be super cool personally. But that's me. That's my opinion. I love Pokemon Adventures. Pokemon Adventures is such a fun read. Josh, what's your thoughts on this? You're a big Pokemon fanatic. How you feeling about this?
Yeah, I'm really on the fence about it. Like you guys said, Detective Pikachu, for its flaws, was a really good movie, especially a movie based off like an anime video game. Manga, like, for what it was really good. The Pokemon models were really good. Yeah, the story was kind of lackluster, but hey, we got what we got, and I enjoyed it.
True.
My thing here is, as far as Netflix goes, they're not really known for doing really good adaptations of things. And depending on what budget they're going to throw at it, are we going to get character models like Detective Pikachu? Are they going to be working with like Warner Brothers and Legendary, to get that kind of quality of a show? That's where my worries kind of stand, because a lot of the projects Netflix is working on now, we don't really know anything about, like the Yu Hakusho live action series or the One Piece live action series, or we can go on there now and watch Bleach and Full Metal, but from what I've seen, they don't look fantastic. So
I've heard Full Metal is bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've heard Full Metal is bad.
Well, that may be a little bit more worrying for Pokemon then.
Yeah.
Odds are we're gonna get a Pokemon Snap live action.
Yeah. So that was what worries me about Netflix getting it. On the other hand, as far as the story goes with Pokemon, there's so much content that really they can adapt anything, or they can just make an entirely new story, and it won't really affect anything. It just depends on what that story is and how it's going to go. More than likely, like Alex said, I could see them following like the manga and following Red, just because, if, as any Pokemon fan knows, Gen 1's kind of, the baby here, and they're always going to go Gen 1 for everything. So that would be the most likely play to get people more invested into it, is tap onto that nostalgia of Gen 1. But it just, right now, I think they're in the discussion phase anyway, so nothing's like concrete, but, let's just hope that we get something worthwhile out of it instead of something that's just a waste of time.
Josh, while you were talking, I just thought of something. I was just like, you're going through all these, Alex is going about following the manga and whatnot. You're talking about following the generations. Like, I just thought the story I need to know that every Pokemon player's always wondered, the story of one of the goddamn professors. What the hell do they do while your ass is traveling the world? Because everyone assumes they're just going to Plowtown on the MC's mother, but
that's a fair assumption. That's a fair assumption.
That is a very
so
fair,
just
fair
like,
assumption.
What the hell are you guys doing?
That actually would be interesting. I don't know about a live action series, but yeah.
Also, while it's on my my head, I don't want to lose this thought. Josh, you mentioned the Yu Yu Hakusho series. I did see a shot of Yusuke. Looks pretty solid. I will say I mean, it's not hard to mess that up. I mean, it's possible, but you can do it. It's not that hard. But the shot that I did see, Yusuke looked pretty solid, though. I will say that. Costume looked great, hair looked great, everything about it. It's like, okay, that's a live action Yusuke. Let's go. So
I do have hopes for the Yu Yu Hakusho live action series because it is completely, totally in Japan. Netflix is only financing it, so like anything that comes out of Japan, anime, manga related, it's it hasn't been bad, and they're shooting at Toho Studios, which do other Godzilla movies. So maybe we got something there.
Yeah, maybe we do. Japan does do things right when it comes to live actions because I know, we talked about the sales like an episode or two ago. I really want to watch Tokyo Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it looks so good. I'm so pumped to check that out at some point. But I mean, we'll see what comes out of the Pokemon live action. Very curious of the story direction, how many episodes, etc. And I don't know. We'll see what kind of budget they got on it. Like Josh said, see if it's got a budget to actually give us the solid looking models that we got with Detective Pikachu. But at the same time, here's the thing about Netflix, right? Doing all these live action things, they've had a lot of misses, right? Let's be real, they have. Sooner or later, they're gonna get a hit. It's just a matter of when and what.
I mean, at this point, Netflix is in the live action pit hole, the same as DC. So
fair.
DC eventually got Wonder Woman, which people loved, and then they followed it up with Aquaman, which wasn't as liked, but it wasn't hated either. So
right.
Netflix
will have their win. They're gonna get a swing and a home run eventually. It's just a matter of what it's gonna be.
Their original anime series are actually getting better. We haven't really talked about any of it, but I really enjoyed Godzilla Singular Point. So maybe there's hope that they get something right. I'm still holding out hope that the One Piece series is going to be decent. I have seen some of the leaked pictures, and the ships actually look good, but I can't.
I'm gonna put money and say One Piece is gonna be good. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some money on it. I know Oda has his hands on everything. Every decision, every single decision has to be run by him. I'm going to put money that One Piece will actually be good.
That, I'll agree with that. And, what's funny is I was just watching Netflix a minute ago, so I have, like, their screensaver screen going on, and The Witcher pops up, and I was like, The Witcher is actually a really good original Netflix series. So maybe they can do something right.
Maybe they're starting to get their home runs.
I mean, Netflix has a lot of good original series. It's just a matter of fact that Witcher was the first video game adaptation series. Well, I take that back because Castlevania came out before Witcher, so Castlevania was their first success in a video game adaptation.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. It'll be interesting to see how many more misses Netflix has and how many more hits. Hopefully the Pokemon's a hit. Hopefully Yu Yu Hakusho's a hit. Hopefully One Piece is a hit. We'll see.